It is officially winter time, and I thoroughly admit that one of the things I have a hard time with is lighting the stove. But we conveniently have sawdust from outside. So what I did is I took this is a clean kitty scooper, and I sifted out all these big massive pieces here. I'm going to try to make fire starters with some just plain white wax and all these nice wood shavings. Now I'm not 100% sure if I can do this right, but I'm going to gather everything and show you how this is apparently supposed to be done. Yes, we are in the realm of Tammy is trying something new today. So the first thing we need to do is take advantage of the wood stove and melt wax. So, don't tip it over. There's a little bit down there so far. Now, unscented wax. This is actually just came from one of the discount places. It was like $1, I think, or something. There's a little bit in there. It's kind of hard to see. So I've got it just in a can that I bent a little bit to give me a bit of a spout in a pot of nice warm water on the wood stove. So unscented wax, because the scents and things get up in the chimney. Allergy wise too, when you burn things that have a scent, well, in the stove, like when you burn it, they kind of really seriously make me sneeze and sniffle. Now, yeah, I use also a wax melt air freshener, but that doesn't bother me. It's not being burnt. Maybe that's all it is. Here's what else we need to do this. I'm on my freezer because you know I'm going to make a mess. We have an egg carton. We have a second candle just in case we need it. And we also have all of these wood shavings. So now the way it works is that the wood shavings are going to go in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill all these up with wood shavings. Well, I'm not going to fill them up. I'm going to fill them up till the top of this. And we're going to be putting wax on these and see how they work. So let's get to work. There we go. I'm going to get that little bit of wax we have just to see how this will actually work. Okay, let's see. I'm just going to pour a little bit in and see if it'll go right down inside. Maybe not. Oh, there we go. All right, I'm gonna have to use something to move this around. Then we'll sprinkle a little bit more in there. A little messy, but this might work. A little bit more. Of course, now the wax is cooling down that little bit that I have melted. And I'll just kind of squish it in there. Well, this may not be an easy job, but let's melt the wax again and see if we can get this to work better. Okay. We got more wax. And it's hotter now too, so this shouldn't be too bad, I don't think. I hope. Alright. Some more wood chips. Now, I don't really care if it soaks in. I actually don't. I want it to soak in. It's the whole point. Oops. Ah! overshot. All right, let's get a little bit more. Get our spoon in here. This is gonna be a messy job. Wow, is this ever gonna be a messy job? Well, I didn't say it was gonna be pretty. That's for sure. Oh my gosh, look at this mess. This is crazy. But I can see the more I mess with these, the more beneficial something like this will be for someone like me who really is terrible at at lighting the fire. The wax is actually starting to cool down now a bit, so I can get in here a little bit better with the fingers, which is good. Okay. Of course, it's still hot, so if you're going to do something silly like this, like I'm trying, make sure you recognize the fact that it's going to be warm still. Okay, guys? There we go. Let's give them all a good squish. Oops. I don't think I've ever tried so hard not to giggle making something ever. Alright. I'm gonna go put the wax back on to melt because we kind of used up all the wax that melted. Oh well. It's a messy job, but it's actually kind of fun. I may have come up with a bit of a rhythm here. So these are the ones that I already did. And they're starting to harden, which is great. Now these 9 here I did just do. See, there's still a little bit of loose wax in there. But it's cool enough now that I can kind of really work the wax in. Look at that. It's kind of neat. You can see it like bubble up. Just proves to you that shavings are a pretty good insulator. Can you believe that? Look at that. That is nifty. Okay. So I haven't done these 9 down here yet. I'm gonna kind of poke a hole as best I can here. Oops, that one's actually still a little wet. Look at that. Alrighty. Let's kind of massage that one in there a bit more. And a little bit more sawdust on everybody. These are all the ones that I finished, so I'll pour a little bit of wax on the top of all those when it's all done. These 9 here, I still have to put the wax on, so we'll see how this works out. And then I got to figure out how to get them apart. I think I have an idea, but I guess we'll find out. Okay, on to the last 9. Like I said, I think we got this now. If I make the wax hot enough, it soaks in really, really well. There we go. This is why we have box board underneath the egg carton. Because, you know for a fact, I'm going to make a mess if I don't. Alright. Fill them up. Let me do that quick little rundown all these real fast. There we go. Whoops. Too fast. Tammy, pay attention. There we go. Alright, I'm going to go set this back on the stove so it doesn't get really cold. Alrighty, time to stirry with the end of the spoon. Well, I'm not really stirring either. I'm just kind of tamping it all down. There we go. Alright, let's go get that last little bit of wax. Okie doke. Alrighty. Oops. Don't want to make a mess this time. Well, that's it. The only thing left in there are the 2 wicks. Well, that's not too bad. Do a little bit of a sprinkle, sprinkle, a little bit of tampy, tampy. These ones are still pretty warm, so we'll tamp a little extra. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to let these get cold, and then we're going to see if I can actually cut them apart. Hope this works out alright. Alrighty, time to go tie it back up, and I'm going to let these sit probably about a half an hour or so, maybe a little longer, I don't know yet. And then we'll cut them apart. Maybe we'll toss one in the fire to make sure they actually, you know, catch. It's still a little warm on the bottom, but let's turn it over, actually. Let me turn it this way. Whew. Okay, so you can definitely tell the ones that the wax was hotter than the ones that I started with. Okay, now I'm not sure if this is going to work. I got my really sad little X-Acto knife here. I don't know if it's strong enough. Nope, I'm going to have to find something a little better to cut these with. Alrighty, so I brought two. Regular old steak knife, and then this one's, I think it's supposed to be a steak knife. I honestly have no idea. But it also has this handy dandy little saw kind of action. Alright, so maybe that is the way to go. Oh, look at that. Alrighty, that one may be the one to use. Not too bad. So, it would make sense too, the way it's done is you can light the actual carton, what's left. A couple of them are a little big, of course, but alrighty, let's cut the rest of these apart. Let's see how these will work. Alright. Snap. What do they say in that movie? Bend and snap. Okay, I have no idea why that came into my head. And I giggled enough that I snorted. Oh my gosh. But you know I'm going to do it again. You ready? Bend and snap. Oh my gosh, if you are of an age, you know exactly what movie I'm talking about. And then, oops. Well, this is definitely not the tidiest job in the world. And I'm going to bet that there's people that can do this a lot better than I just did. These ones are actually still warm. But they're very well saturated. That's kind of neat, actually. Whoops. All right, so the ones that are really saturated are definitely easier to cut apart. Unlike these two, which kind of tore apart, but that's okay. Look at the mess I'm making. Wow. Okay, it's like when I'm cooking. If I'm not making a mess, I must not be doing well, right? Time for the basket. All right. Fire starters. Well, it is finally warm enough that this stove is not running a mile a minute. But we needed it to cool down a little bit so we could clean it. So he got most of the ash out, which you guys can't even really see. Yeah, I know the glass is dirty and everything, but I mean, this is one of our primary sources of heat. So we got fire starter ready, and we'll pop in one of those fire starters I made, and I can show you how well these work. I've used one so far because it's been so cold. The fire actually hasn't gone out until now. There we go, fire starter. Get Freddie to tuck it in there and see how well this thing will burn. The first one burnt pretty well, but we haven't used one in a while, so I guess that's... There you go, Freddie. Find a good home for it way down in there, if you can push it back a little further. Oh, let me get you the lighter. Forgot the one big piece. It's not the best log house thing going on in there, but can you guys even see it?
It's road.
Right there? Oh, there it is.
It's good use for yard waste.
It's very good use for yard waste. Gosh, don't waste the twigs. Wait and see if the wax and everything catches. Oh yeah, the wax is starting to catch. Well, isn't that nifty? Oh, there she goes. A couple of the twigs have caught. I could just stay here like this and I can put it on YouTube as a Christmas video. Alright, I'm just being stupid. Yep, the wax is starting to catch. Oh yeah, look at it down there. You see the blue flame and everything. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so hopefully these work out well for us because I really suck at lighting the fire. I'm not any good at it. But hopefully that'll keep burning and get those little pieces of wood caught and we'll have a nice toasty warm house this morning. Time for a couple of big pieces. So yeah, I'd say they work well. So basically we made something to start this fire using yard waste, garbage, that being the egg tray, candles from a thrift store, and yeah, she's really going well. So in case you're wondering, no, I'm not going to show you what I look like because it's still the morning. It's my day off. You guys don't need to see this hair. Anyway, everybody, that's our fire starters. That's our fire starters. Yeah, I kept the can so I can make some more. And that's our roaring morning fire, and it is warming up the house already. So, yeah, I'll link the link. I'll post the link from Acre Homestead where I saw this originally. And she's so much tidier at it than I am. So, alrighty. We'll see you next time as we continue our simpler life here on PEI. You guys have a fabulous and warm day.